How to talk to motivated sellers in order to get a property under contract. This video in my free Wholesaling University is going to be going over exactly how to speak with homeowners to get deals under contract. Now that we've went over exactly how to do marketing and how to go on that action plan of doing cold calling marketing to find motivated sellers that want to sell their property, now we need to know exactly how to talk to them in order to sell them on why they should sell their house to you, so that way you can get the property under contract at a discounted price and make a deal happen. So there's going to be a sales process that you're going to want to follow, and it's a 6-step process. The first step is intro, the second step is fact find, third is building rapport, 4 is pulling out their asking price, 5 is the offer, and 6 is going for the close. So let's start with the intro. The intro is one of the most important parts of any phone call that you make, whether it's a cold call or a follow-up call, whatever it is. The intro is where you grab their attention, and it's what I call when you have them, you have them. This is your opportunity to get the hook in where you're able to keep them on the phone, or you're going to lose them right off the bat and not get any opportunity. If you get them on your intro, you're basically going to have as much time as you want to talk to them, because when you have them, you have them. So if you do your intro properly, you're going to get them locked in on the phone call, and they're going to give you as much time as you need to talk to them from there on. So in your intro, there's a few things that they want to know that are very important. They want to know who you are, why you're calling, and why they should listen. If you can give them all this in under like 8 seconds, you're probably going to be able to keep them on the phone. Who you are, why you're calling, and why they should listen. Because those are the core things they want to know. You want to say it quick in under 8 seconds. Now, you also want to do another thing to keep them on the phone. You want to overwhelm their brain. You're giving them the information they need, but then you want to overwhelm their brain with 3 different tonalities. First tonality is high energy enthusiasm. Second is monotone professionalism. And third is question tone. So this is the exact intro that I want you to use in all your phone calls. If you are doing it for a cold call, you would say, hey, I'm calling to see if you'd consider a cash offer for your property. Do you have a second? And if you're doing it as a follow-up call, you'll do this. Hey, I'm calling to give you the offer for your property on street name. So ready? Hey, I'm calling to give you the offer for your property on 123 Main Street. You spoke to my team member about. Do you have a second? So, hey, I'm calling to give you the offer for your property. You spoke to my team member about. Do you have a second? So, high enthusiasm in the beginning, and then monotone professionalism, and then question tone at the end. I'm telling them, I'm calling to give them the offer, and I'm telling them you spoke to my team member, so I'm connecting the dots that they spoke to somebody that cold called them initially, so that way it's not just an out of the blue call. And then I'm asking for the shortest amount of time possible. Do you have a second? A lot of people will teach you to ask them, hey, is now a bad time to talk? And why would you ever give them that opportunity to exit the call with you? If you say, is this a bad time to talk? They're going to tell you 9 out of 10 times, yeah, it's a bad time to talk, and you're going to lose them just like that. Don't give them an exit that easy. Ask for the shortest amount of time. Do you have a second? And they're probably going to say yes, because you're telling them who you are, why you're calling, why they should listen. You're overwhelming their computer, their brain with 3 different tonalities, and you're asking for the shortest amount of time. They're going to say yes. So now that we've got past the intro, we move into our fact find. Our fact find is where we're going to collect information about the property and about the situation. So there is only about 5 questions that you need to ask in order to get the understanding of the property's condition in order to calculate your offer. The first question is, how old is the roof? The second question is, how old is the air conditioning unit? The third question is the interior condition in good shape, or could it use some work? And then expansion questions from that are going to be, what type of countertops do you have in the kitchen? Are they laminate or granite countertops? Laminate would be outdated, granite is higher scale. And then what color are the cabinets in the kitchen? Have they been painted, or are they a wood color? Wood cabinets, probably outdated. Painted white, maybe they've done updating. Then what flooring do you have throughout the property? If they have 12 by 12 tiles, it's probably outdated because those are small, older tiles. If they have bigger tiles, great. If they have modern wood look tile, great. But find out what flooring they have throughout the property. You can also confirm the bed and bath count and the square footage. But based on those short set of questions, you're going to be able to fully grasp the condition of the property, knowing whether it needs a no remodel, full remodel, or a medium remodel. So those are the questions I want you to ask when you're talking to these sellers in order to collect information. That's your fact find. Now, fact find also leads then into the building rapport phase of the call and of the sales process. This is where you talk with the seller about things other than business, things about life in order to build a relationship with the seller. So instead of making it completely transactional, try to build a relationship with the seller and build a friendship with them. A good question for building rapport and opening that type of conversation up is, hey, why are you looking to move? Or how soon are you looking to move? Or what's the reason you're looking to sell? If they say they're moving to family back east or whatever, be like, oh, my family's from back east. And yeah, you know, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl this year. We're rooting for them. Who are you rooting for? Whatever, just stuff that's not about the house. Try to build a relationship. Next, we move into the pulling out the seller's asking price. This part of the sales process is crucial because the first person to say a number loses. Always try to pull out the seller's asking price 2 to 3 times before making an offer. Like I said, the first person to say a number loses. There's different ways to ask for the asking price. Hey, do you have a number in mind? Is there a ballpark figure of where you'd want to be around for the property? Did you have a price in mind of what you're looking to get? So try a few different ways to ask for their asking price and try to pull out their asking price before making them an offer. 5, offer presentation. When presenting the offer, you always want to state the full offer stack. What is the offer stack? You want to tell them what comes along with the offer. So once I'm ready to make them an offer, let's say the offer is $100,000, I need to present the stack to them. So, Mr. Seller, just so you understand, we cover all closing costs, there's no commissions, and we buy the property in as-is condition, so our offer is net to you in your pocket. With that being said, we would be around $100,000 cash net to you for the property. You see how I'm doing the whole offer stack. I'm telling them we cover all closing costs, there's no commissions, we buy the property in as-is condition, the offer's net to them, and I would be at X price. That's how you want to present your offer, and then you want to transition to the close. This is the final step of the sales process. The close involves negotiating, coming to an agreement, and transitioning to the close. Reviewing the offer, assuming the close, and closing. Assuming the close is very important. Always in sales, you want to assume that they're a yes. You want to assume that you have a deal. So, negotiating. Whenever you are raising your offer, always bring back the stack. So if I offered $100,000 and he's like, that's not enough, and let's say I come up to $105,000, I would be like, Mr. Seller, good news. I looked at this and I talked with my finance department, and I'm able to come up to $105,000. Keep in mind, we're still going to be covering all closing costs. There's no commissions. We're buying it as-is condition, so that $105,000 is going to be net to you. So you see how I raised the price, but I still provided the offer stack? It's building the value of the offer, and I want to build that value every time I present a number to the seller. Now, when reviewing the offer with the seller, you want to quickly summarize the contract with them, and you always want to have them on the phone when you're going over the contract with them. So try your best to do that. Now, when it comes to assuming the close, assume they want to move forward. Assume they are going to sign, and have that mentality and that attitude. And then for the close, ask for the sale. You're never going to get the deal if you don't ask for it. Ask for the sale and then apply pressure. Are you ready to start the process today? That's the best way to apply pressure, and the best way to try to move a deal forward and get it done is say, are you ready to start the process today? Now, that is the sales process that I want you to follow from open to close, right? Think about it like a straight line theory, okay? From open to close when dealing with a seller, okay? There's the intro and then there's the close. And then along there's a few other steps along the sales process. If the seller objects, right, to your price, they're off the straight line. If in the fact find the seller starts rambling about a bunch of other issues about the property and a bunch of other details about the property that you don't need to know, they're rambling, they're off the straight line. You have to find a way to circle them back to the straight line and continue moving them forward to the close. If they don't like your price, you got to bring them back to where they're willing to negotiate, get them back on the straight line, work towards a negotiation, continue moving them forward on the straight line to the close. So think of a sales call as a straight line theory. Open, close. If they are objecting or they are rambling and they're not following your process, they're off the straight line, find ways to circle them back, continue moving them to the close. Some other sales skills when it comes to building rapport with a seller is the FOR technique or the Ford technique. These are things that anybody can talk about life that help you build rapport with them. So FOR, F-O-R-E. Anybody can talk about family, occupation, recreation, and education, F-O-R-E. Same thing with Ford. Anybody can talk about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And then building rapport also, the Me Too technique. So if they tell you something about their life and you have that past experience as well, always try to relate with them. The Me Too technique. Me too. I can relate. And then never go negative also, right? We always want to keep the conversation positively moving forward and reassuring them that everything's going to be good. So if they object, be like, no worries, we can use that title company or we can raise the earnest money, everything's all good. Do you see how I'm just keep rolling it and I never go negative? All right, and then ABC, guys, always be closing. Remember, we're not in this business to just make phone calls and not get deals. Always be closing. Now, the next thing that I want to mention is a couple other good questions to ask the seller when talking to them. Is the property vacant or occupied? What is the timeline you're looking to move? What is the reason you want to sell? Do you have an asking price in mind for the property? So those are some more good questions. Now, another thing that I want to tell you that's valuable is confidence. Guys, people can smell your confidence through the phone. And so act as if you've closed hundreds of real estate deals. Act as if you're an expert. It is a must. When I was doing this at 16 years old, if I didn't carry myself a certain way, I would have completely failed. Keeping yourself in a good position when you don't know the answer to questions is key as well. So how do you keep that confidence and how do you act as if? If a seller's asking you a question and you don't know the answer to the question, instead of being like, I don't know, be like, I'm pretty sure that's right, let me double check and I'll get back to you. Don't ever be like, I don't know the answer. Instead be like, yeah, that sounds right and I'll double check. Never say, I don't know. That'll be helpful. And then you always want to make sure you're mastering your tonalities on the phone. You know, make sure you're being clear the way you communicate. Make sure you're using different tonalities and communicate effectively and clearly. You'll notice when talking to sellers that if you don't ask your questions clearly, you're going to get not clear answers back from them. The clearer you are, the easier the process goes, the smoother your sales process is. So work on your communication skills. If that means standing in front of the mirror and reading your script while doing hand gestures and practicing tonalities, that's what you got to do. If that means going on voice memos and recording yourself talking and saying the script and listening to yourself back 100 times to master how you sound on the phone, do that. That is how you're going to get very good at sales. I hope this video is helpful to show you guys how to talk to sellers on the phone, and let's move on to the next video in the free Wholesaling University. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the link down below and enroll in the full free university so that way you can access the rest of the free training videos. And if you'd like to upgrade to the complete Wholesaling University, it's only $297 and you're going to get access to over 40 more videos than what's inside the free Wholesaling University. This complete Wholesaling University goes over everything you need to know from start to finish on how to get your first deal and then to scale the business all the way up to doing $1 million every single year. Look what's inside. All of these educational videos on every single part of the business. So that being said, if you'd like to upgrade to the complete Wholesaling University, it's only $297. But if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link down below and at least enroll in the full free Wholesaling University so that way you can access the rest of the free training videos. I look forward to seeing you inside the program because you're going to also be able to network in the community with all the other students. I look forward to seeing you inside.